Hi, hello, I'm Cameron from avad3. Thanks for renting the Fender Passport from us. I want to show you a couple things about this and set you up to succeed so that you have a great experience. First things first, when you get this thing, it all snaps together. These sit on here like this, these latches do this. To unlatch it, you reach under here like this and then this will come off, okay? So I'll set this over here out of the way. When you do that on both sides, these are your speakers. There's a connector right here on the front, that's where you're going to plug the cable in. The other end of your cable plugs in back here on the back, which is super simple. You literally just plug the power cable in and then these two cables go to your speakers, okay? Now if you want to come a little closer, let's talk about the front. This thing has a bunch of knobs, but it doesn't have to be scary. Think of them in columns. So you can plug up to 4 microphones in, and then you can also plug a guitar in, and then you can also plug like your phone or an iPod in. And so each row coincides with that. So if I plugged a microphone in, this will be my microphone volume. I can do more or less treble or bass. I usually cut a little bit of bass. And then you can add reverb if you're singing. The pad would be if the microphone was crazy loud, you would pad it. That's probably never going to be the case. And that completes that channel. And then you just have that 6 times. So same over here for the music. So this is the music volume. I've got my microphone volume and my music volume happening. Then after you've got kind of your 2 channels, this is your master volume, okay? For instance, if I had my master volume all the way up and my channel really low, I may be thinking, man, this thing's not very loud, but I need to turn my channel up. Same way, if I had my channel all the way up and my master volume barely on, I'd say, man, this thing's crazy loud. So it's kind of a balancing act there of what does the overall volume need to be, and then what does the microphone volume relative to my music volume need to be. Hopefully that makes sense. That's it for the actual kind of unit. You just plug in power, plug in the mic, plug in your iPod, set these 2 volumes, set your overall volume, and you're good. A couple of things I would do when you first arrive, whether you're indoors or outdoors, figure out how big of an area are you wanting to cover. For instance, this little guy can't do a football field, so let's talk in terms of maybe a basketball court, okay? So you want to think about the area and you want to put your 2 speakers at the 25-yard line. I'm not good at sports, but you kind of want to saw the thing in half and say, okay, this half is going to be done by this speaker, this half is going to be done by this speaker. And then maybe you put this on the 50-yard line or something. The cables are crazy long. You could run these things way far away, but it's not about running them far away for the sake of the cables. You want to divide the area that you're trying to spray with sound in half and then have the 2 speakers do that. The second thing I'll say, if you've ever heard a microphone kind of make like a ringing sound, like a and it like ringing and going crazy, that is a microphone hearing itself. So if I stand in front of this speaker and talk, that's not going to work. It's going to feed back. So when you're setting it up, to use the football field illustration again, if these were on the 25-yard line, you would want to stand like back where the players stand and talk. You wouldn't want to stand in front of the speakers because then it would feed back. Hopefully that makes sense. If you're in a smaller area, you could bring the speakers in and point them out a little bit. That'll also help with feedback. Or you could bring the speakers way wider and shoot them in. As long as you're not in front of them, you want to be where you can't hear yourself, where the speakers are kind of in front of you when you're talking. We're going to send you with some tall stands to put these things on. I would run them up about as tall as you can. We're going to send you with some sandbags to put on there to counterweight them, which will help them from falling over if it's windy, which is important, obviously. We'll send you with a mic stand, a mic cable, pretty much everything you need to get this thing up and running. You can run this off of a regular outlet. We're going to send you with a 100-foot power cable. You can run that further if you need to. It doesn't draw a ton of power, but it draws more than, say, you could get out of your car. So like, don't try to use one of those power inverters out of your car. It's too powerful for that, but it doesn't take a lot of power. I think that's about it. I hope you have a great event, whatever it is. This thing can get pretty loud, and I think it'll be a good fit for you. Thanks for watching, and thanks for renting through avad3.